Hi, second violins. This is to help you guys with the entertainer. So if you take a look at the beginning, I've marked in a lot of the fingerings that you would need. And the good news is that if you can play one measure, you can play the next measure because they're the same thing. Just a huge reminder that when it comes to ragtime music, which is what the entertainer is, we've talked about this, there's lots of syncopation, which means our feeling of the beat is going to be displaced by just a little bit because we have lots of ties in one measure or sometimes at the end of one measure into the beginning of the next. So it's harder to feel beats 1 and 2 clearly sometimes, okay? So when we start with the entertainer, we're starting on the A string, 3 fingers, okay? 3, 4, low 2. Make sure that's a low 2. You can't quite see it very well here, but there is a down arrow over top of that too, okay? And again, I'm using this copy that has all of these hints, all these fingerings I've written in there for you. So that way, if you're looking at your blank copy and you're practicing, you can come back to this copy and write in what you need to help you, okay? All right, awesome. So from the very beginning, make sure you're feeling that you start on beat 1. So you have 1, 2. Make sure that you can play it fluidly. You don't have to necessarily play it that fast right now, but make sure that you go from one measure into the next, from third finger on D to third finger on A. Maybe you just sit there and you practice hopping back and forth, okay? Trying to use as minimal effort as possible. So don't hop your fingers up in the air, but just move them over a little bit, okay, by rotating your hand. So that's again. Then you rest for 2 beats, 1 beat, and then you have B or G. Okay, you're going to play one of those notes, all right? So you'd have or. Then you have rest, rest, then you have a C, okay? So in real time, that feels like this. 1, 2, 1, 1. And now I'm on the upbeat, right, or the offbeat. And it's still very important for me to count because in some measures, I go one note after the next. So from 6, I have a rest, 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 B, rest, C, C, and rest, 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 1, 2, then rest, rest, 2, rest, then rest, rest, rest. Now, when you play, you see those 2 notes stacked on top of each other. If we haven't gone over double stops together, I just want you to play either just the top notes, the E, E, F natural low 2, or just the C, 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 so one note or the other, not both together, okay? As we go on, you then pick up the melody at measure 20, okay, or the pick up to 21. So this is where we've talked a lot about moving our fingers chromatically, okay? So you have to, for your very first 3 notes here, D, D sharp, and E of the main melody, you have to creep up the violin. So look at my finger if you can see it, right? I have open D, 0 fingers, low 1 on the fingerboard, which is very close, almost to the nut, and then 1, moving my finger forwards. That's 0, low 1, 1. Look at how my finger moves from low 1 to 1. You have to move your finger or you're not going to get 3 different pitches, okay? So that should sound like this. 0, low 1, 1. I'll do it again. Hopefully you can see my finger clearly enough to see that it is actually moving from low to high. And yes, higher is closer to us. Lower is further down the fingerboard towards the scroll, okay? From there, you are going to keep 1 down on D string and go to 2 on A string. I would keep those fingers glued down and only move the bow so you're not hopping your fingers up. Then you have more chromatic notes here. You have a 2, 3, high 3. Extend that third finger. Do you see how my third finger moved? This is D. This is D sharp. This is E. 2, 3, high 3, 4. I'm actually moving my finger up like tiptoes, right? Then I come back. Then some of the same material, that 0, low 1, 1. Now we go down. C natural. Then again. 2, 3, high 3. Then we kind of repeat that figure, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2. Watch that. Make sure you're only doing the fingers that are there. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2. And that's going to repeat again on the next page. 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 2. Watch how many times you repeat this, okay? Just make sure you're still following along with your eyes as you play. Then again, we again have that 2, 3, high 3, 4. And this rhythm is a 1 and a, E and a, 1 and a. Then you have C, C off the beat, C, C, 1 and a, E and a, 1 and a, E and a. Okay, so just be careful with all the syncopation you have coming up. I'm going to start here on this C. Oh, here's my cursor on this C right here. Ready? And then rest, rest, rest. You can use open. Then a low one again, like we did before on the page prior. Then you go to the A string. Watch that rhythm. Then keep going. And if you can play all of that, you can play the whole entire piece because all we're doing is repeating that section the next page, okay? All right, so hopefully this helps you when it comes to practicing. Remember, if you're using your blank page and you have it printed out, take a pencil to that page and write in whatever you need. I don't think you need to write in every fingering that I have here for you, but this is definitely a little cheat sheet that you can use if you need it, okay? All right, if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, good luck and happy practicing.